What's up, peoples? Beautiful day. Started off cold, but beautiful day right now. Listen, educational. Some people care about this, some people don't. I know a lot of people, so this video might get a little long, but you'll be able to tell in the very beginning if you want to stick around or not. A lot of people talk about prioritizing protein, and some people don't know why is that push so heavy. Some people say, I just want to lose weight. Like, I'm just trying to burn fat. Why are you telling me to eat protein? Shouldn't I be eating less calories? Which, yes, you should. However, prioritizing protein is a game changer. So here's why. We're going to break down calories per gram when it comes to macronutrients. That's proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. We're going to talk about how what we consume, view it as a paycheck. You got a gross, that's before taxes, and you got a net, that's after taxes. When we consume food, taxes must be paid. So we're not netting, we're not getting a net pay of everything that we consume. That is your gross. And lastly, we'll talk about thermic effect. That is each macronutrient requires energy to process it and digest it. So when you consume that energy, you also need energy to break it down. And each macronutrient is very different. And you want to pay attention to protein. All right, right? 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrate equals 4 calories. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Yeah, pay attention to your fats, right? Adds up fairly quick. Now, here is thermic effect, right? When we consume protein, our body utilizes 20 to 30% of that protein to process it, break it down and utilize it. When we consume carbohydrates, our body typically uses 5% to 10% of those calories to digest it and process it. When we consume fat, our body uses about 3% of those calories to process it and digest, right? So here's why protein is important. That thermic effect, right? You just heard it. 20 to 30% of protein calories won't even hit your net account. Remember we talked about gross? Think about consuming food as a paycheck. You got a gross before taxes and you got a net after taxes. So 20 to 30% of protein, when you consume it, is going to get taxed. So it won't hit your net account. So knowing that 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, let's take an average. That means 25% of those 4 calories won't never hit your net account, only your gross. So that means if it's 4 calories, you're going to use up 1 calorie out of those 4 just to process your protein. So you grossing, your initial before taxes is 4 calories, but you're only getting 3 calories accounted for within your account. That's your net. You see how that can add up over time compared to carbohydrates and protein. Essentially, let's take 800 calories. Say you ate 800 calories of protein. Let me do the math. I think that's about 200 grams of protein. That's 800 calories, right? With 4 calories per gram, 200 times 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 800 calories, right? 25% of that never hits your net account. So doing the math, if you consume 800 calories of protein, what's 25% of that? Let's see, that's 200 calories out of the 800 that never hits your net account. You grossing the 800, but after taxes, again, there's taxes that must be paid when you consume these macronutrients. When you get taxed, you are only really consuming 600 calories out of the 800. That is what's hitting your net account. Over time, that adds up in a real way. Why? Because 3,500 calories equals 1 pound gain or 1 pound loss. You can see how not only making a conscious effort of being in a caloric deficit will help you lose weight, but prioritizing protein will help you lose even more weight secretly, because a lot of people don't know about this thermic effect. All right, listen, questions, concerns, tap in, comments. I'm here to help. It's just that simple. But knowing this, prioritize protein, because if you're eating 800 calories of protein a day, but only 600 is being accounted to you, that means you're losing 200 calories during digestion. You do 200, by the time you get to the end of the week, you see how that adds up. Then another week, you see how that adds up. And then now you're talking calorie deficits, you're talking losing weight, you're talking losing fat. So prioritize your protein, all right? Hey, pay attention, tap in. It's game time.